So low. Hang on.
Bro, drop it like it's hot. Woo! I love
Drop
those
it like
desks,
it's hot.
man.
I know, I think it was like $800 when my work bought it. And then I bought it from work for $200.
Oh, bargain.
So I think they paid like $1,000 for it. Or some stupid money. And they bought like 25 of these desks.
Oh my God.
And then they had redundancies and everything got sort of, moved around. And I was like, yeah, I'll take a desk, thanks.
Oh, fantastic.
There's still some spare desks left, but I think now that we've got some new people joining, so they'll be using that.
I would love a desk like this.
You can probably build it yourself. I think there's little engines you can get, and you just put a piece of wood, and then just put the legs on. They're like it. I don't get why they're so expensive because they're not actually expensive to make. So we're live.
Oh,
Cool.
we're live.
So yeah, it's not particularly expensive. But yeah, bargain. So well, there's nobody online yet, but we can just continue.
hello world.
Hello world. Hello nobody online.
Hello
welcome
nobody.
to the State of the Beans talk. Can you tell Casper? Can you tell me how long ago was it that we came up with the name State of the Beans talk? Because it's all about talking.
Oh man, I reckon it was 2014.
That's a lot.
Oh my God.
Was I still living with my parents?
Maybe.
I think I was living with my parents.
Yeah, it's like 6 or 7 years ago, man. Wow.
Wow, that's a long time ago. Can you guys let us know if the audio's alright? We'd like to check before it gets to 6 o'clock and we're live.
Yeah, I don't want to sound drunk again or have double audio. Or something playing in the background. That's what happened. Are you playing anything in the background now?
No. So things are playing in the background.
Okay.
But I've got the audio set to not play it.
Because the last time I was listening to the stream, there was some woman talking about news. I'm like, what's going on here?
Hi, Hammy. Welcome back,
Hey,
mate.
Hammy.
Good to see you. We've got a lot of good topics. We'll go through them in a moment.
Ah, yes.
But Casper, back
Patrick.
to our 2000. So it was 2014 when we came up with the name.
Yeah.
And Ray, please don't say that there's music playing in the background. I'm gonna be very.
Is there
angry.
music? Oh God.
No.
No. No.
Chat could be trolling us.
Honestly,
Though.
yeah, chat's trolling.
Nah. It's not. No, everything's fine.
Okay, we're good.
Whew. 2014. So that's 6 years ago.
6
Did
years
that
ago.
flick through? Yeah, 6 years ago.
Bro, could
That's
you
a long
imagine?
time ago.
Yeah. Wow, that's so far away. We weren't even thinking about what's 2020 gonna be like.
Yeah, I don't think anybody thought what 2020 is gonna be like.
Yeah. Oh my God. Like, I don't know. You know what's interesting? I've been looking at the comments of like the first trailer of Cyberpunk 2077.
The one from 2013?
2013,
Yeah.
7 years ago. And I'm looking at some of the comments and they're like, bro, when this trailer released, I was underage. Now I can play this game when it releases. I'm like, yeah, it has been 7 years. So if you were like, even a teenager yet, yeah, you can now play it.
I actually, yeah, because hello, welcome everybody. Good score, yes. We're actually all both in Perth, so hello from Perth.
Yeah, hello.
I was going to say that on that video, I saw this one guy say, when this came out, I was a teenager. And then he goes, now I am married with 2 kids.
Oh, I saw that comment.
Did you see
as
that
well.
one?
Yeah.
Oh.
I was like, bro, so much happens in your life. Like the things you have to go through life before you even get to play this game.
7 years we've been waiting.
years.
Actually, hang on. So has people from Last of Us. Wasn't Last of Us 2013, the first one?
Yes, the first one.
7
yeah,
years.
7 years.
Imagine playing Cyberpunk after 7 years.
I think I went through 4 jobs.
4 jobs.
I think, yeah. Maybe 3 or 4 jobs in that amount of time.
Wow.
As well. I wasn't fired or anything. I'm just saying I was made redundant a few times.
That's insane. Yeah, I got married in that time, in the last 7 years.
And you know what? I think the thing about Australia, and I don't know anywhere else, Victoria or New South Wales or whatnot, but like...
Well, that's part of Australia.
Yeah, part of Australia. But like, I don't know if you guys have a lot of contract-based work, because I do, and a lot of them contract to the government, which makes it a bit tricky to get sustainable employment.
Right.
So that's why my project's finished and I'm on to the next one,
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. maybe, I don't know. Maybe there's a lot of jobs like that. Maybe that's the modern day era.
Contracts.
Maybe it's not like I have a job and I have it for 20, 30 years. Now it's like jobs are changing so quickly. They're shifting that it's no longer Joe Blogs being in a job for 30 years.
Yeah, it's certainly not. Actually, that's a really good point because of the whole economy of, pay, like get now, pay later. Oh, no, sorry, get now, pay later is part of them. But the whole thing about booking somebody from AirTasker to come and do some work, or the taxi industry changing to like the, app-based order your taxi, and the guys don't really have jobs and stuff. So...
And the average lifespan of a company has actually decreased quite significantly as well.
Seriously?
Yeah, it used to be like 20 years or so that a company would strive and survive. But now it's like less to like 12 years or something. And I think it's going to shift and get smaller and smaller as well. So if you want to keep staying in business, you have to innovate, change with the times.
Change very quickly.
Get with the times.
Yeah.
Because everything is changing so fast right now. Like with technology, unless you're Coca-Cola. You've been established for
hang
a
on,
long...
they've been changing too. They've been changing with the whole like no sugar, the Diet Coke.
Yeah.
They're trying to change with like trying to make their drink still like not healthy, but not as bad as some people might make it out to be.
Yeah. But like those changes are so simple. It's like, we have a drink with sugar. What are we going to do? We're going to take away the sugar. We're done. And that was like 70 years in the making.
Yeah. So, okay, we're going to need to get onto the stream soon and all the topics because we've got a lot of stuff to go through. Good Score says NBN to make it closer to fiber to the... Look, you probably want to check your internal house wiring first, and that's probably the only thing you can do. Nothing else. Welcome to fiber to the node. So let's have a quick chat about our topics. We've got Amazon is making a Fallout TV show. Woohoo! That's going to be exciting.
I think. I don't know. Fallout has been letting us down
lately.
Well,
we'll talk about that.
NBA 2K21. Prices of games.
Ooh, there's a lot of stuff going around pricing and prices of games going up. And last week we talked a little bit about it, but this week we actually had pretty much the industry is going to go that way. That's what we sort of...
Yeah, we kind of speculated last week.
Yeah. Okay. We've got a leak from Asus of the RTX3080 Ti. We're going to talk about that and why it might actually be fake. Ooh. What's this one, Caspar?
Oh, the cheap Xbox Series X. Yeah, there's leaks about potential pricing and the construction of the thing, and when we potentially might get a release date of what it is going to be. I think they're talking August or something.
Wow, okay. We're going to talk about some new games hitting PC, and this is a joke. Nintendo World. We'll have a bit of a chat about that.
Wow.
This we'll talk about that, I suppose.
Yeah. So Byron Bernstein.
Yeah.
Is that his name? Yeah.
Byron. Yeah.
Is a popular Twitch streamer, WoW player, and unfortunately he died by suicide at the age of 31.
Yeah. So we'll have a bit of a chat about that.
Yeah, big tragedy to the gaming community.
Very sad. Very sad. Big WoW player. We'll talk about Amazon's new game, Crucible, who had to go back to being, not playable. And TikTok.
Oh, God, I hate TikTok, but I guess we'll say something about it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get started with our intro. Let's get to our first topic, and I'm actually really excited about this. Let's have a look at Amazon's making a Fallout TV show. How about that?
Well, okay, first of all, it looks like it's going to be in the right hands. But second of all, Fallout has let us down so much recently that I'm like, should I even trust them? Like, what's the deal, yo? Okay, how do you envision the show?
Okay, well, first of all, Westworld, right? I love the show. I just finished season 2 a little while back, and I'm on to season 3 halfway through. I've been a bit slow. It's a slow TV show. It's a really slow burn. So I found it quite enjoyable on the side when I'm like waiting for a render to finish.
Yes.
That's been my sort of experience with it. And the way they write this story and its progression, I think will work really well in Fallout, because generally speaking, when I played Fallout, it wasn't action orientated. It was a very slow burn towards a story, some twists, and some very interesting characters along the way, which I think the creators of Westworld have done really well in the 3rd season and the 2nd season. Not so much in the 1st season, because I think 1st season was a bit... It was all new and it was all exciting, so there's a lot to show. But I think now, it's getting there. Hammy, please explain to me why the intro sucks. I think it's great.
Yeah. Oh, man.
And so I think Westworld is a good connection to Fallout. I'm actually glad it's not HBO for some reason, because
really?
Because with
HBO is so pretentious now.
they're pretentious, but they don't finish things well.
Oh, don't they? Oh, come on. Game of Thrones is amazing. I loved it. It was amazing.
I just don't expect the finishing of the show to be great. And I know Fallout doesn't actually need an ending, because it's such an open interpretation of it. Like, you could have a story of one character in the wasteland that goes to another. Like, it doesn't have to be...
Doesn't have to wrap it up. I mean,
no.
I guess...
There's not an overarching story.
Yeah, and with a world like that, you could follow characters doing things, but then... It could end at any point, because it's more about the setting. Oh, but then again,
the setting itself is really nice. There's a lot of stories to tell, a lot of interesting characters to have, and I think it'll be interesting to see.
It's kind of there's a few post-apocalyptic things in the making or coming out, right? Like we got The Last of Us, which will be a TV show.
Who's making that?
Remember
I know, but who? Which company?
Oh, I don't know. Oh wait, maybe it is HBO.
Is it? I think it is.
I think it is. Yeah. That's right. It is HBO. Because I was excited when I heard that about the Last of Us TV series. It's gotta be, right? Yeah,
yes, it is HBO. Yeah,
HBO. That's gonna be awesome. I'm looking forward to that. That's probably gonna be maybe Joel's still alive.
Look, I think they're gonna have to do Joel still alive.
Yeah. Did we just drop a massive spoiler here?
No, I think everybody's pretty clear on that. Like, it happens in the first part of the game. Like, there's no...
Yeah, sorry if we
sorry if we spoiled, but it happens in the first part of the game, and it is literally the reason for the game.
Yeah,
basically,
there's no...
Yeah,
and I think... Factor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think... So, let's back up. Fallout 1 and 2, they were the top-down, clickety-clack RPGs.
Yes.
And they were... Well, they're old, and they weren't necessarily... The stories were good, but it was an old game. Yeah. Fallout 3 was the first 3-dimensional sort of RPG, and I think it was fantastic. Then Fallout New Vegas came out. Mm-hmm. Very good.
That was supposedly really good. Yeah.
That was really good.
Epic
then Fallout
expansion.
4 was a bit average, and Fallout 76 was just absolute garbage. So it was a
disaster.
A money
making machine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think if they're going to do a show based on the earlier works of the Fallout universe, we'll be fine.
Yeah, and I think it's too early to tell if the TV show will be based on one of the games. Maybe they'll drop hints and Easter eggs on certain characters, maybe NPCs or whatever that are mixed into it. But I think they will want to get really creative and give the directors and producers a lot of creativity with it to be like, look, create what you want, put all the characters you want, but just make sure the setting is XYZ. And make sure you have these monsters, make sure you have this attire, it's actually our brand and our theme that's poking through.
It'll certainly be in the universe. It will have the vaults, and it'll have the vault characters. More than likely going to follow a vault dweller and their story inside the vault, and maybe going outside or there's going to be something like that, because the wasteland itself, I think, is a big story, but the story that happens inside the vault, I think, is really exciting. I wonder, and this is a little bit of a prediction, they're going to do a season of just in the vault.
Oh, okay.
And very little outside.
That would make sense.
it's going to be, I think would be very, there'll be a lot of character development there.
Yeah. And then they send characters out of the vault.
But they never follow them?
Oh, no, I'm thinking that they would, but they'll be like, what's happening in the vault and what's happening out in the wild, and they'll like, they'll have different settings because of that, and then maybe what's happening in a different town and how these characters interlink with one another, like...
And maybe everything comes together.
Yeah, there's a lot they could do with this show, now that I come to think of it.
But I do hope, and this is something for a TV show, is that they do have an overarching story.
Right.
I do like a story that actually has, something's happening, but along the way we still get to go to this sort of major plot point that we're following along.
Yeah.
Because I think there's something about having this target in the back of our minds that we're all heading to. Maybe there's something like in number 3, you were chasing your father, but you had all these other side missions and things you were doing. And they had their own stories and stuff. So it'd be good to have something overarching the whole story. Joe Blog says, I think they will go inside and outside in the first season, same as the 100. I watched the first few episodes of the 100, and I just wasn't hooked.
I haven't seen it. I know a little bit about the premise, but I haven't seen it.
They canned it, I think, and it was... I think the producer was Spielberg.
Was it?
The
wow,
100.
Such a big name.
Yeah, I think there was a big name connected to it. I can't quite remember.
Big Daddy.
The 100. Let's have a look who is involved 100. In that.
Oh, the reviews are alright.
Yeah, or maybe it is continuing. Season 7.
Oh, it's 7 seasons. Jesus.
Maybe I'm confusing this with another.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like this is going well for them.
But this is the one with the teenagers. Successful.
Yeah, you must be thinking of something else.
I know what I'm thinking about. There was another TV show that Spielberg was involved, and they canned it up the first season.
Oh, okay.
It was about aliens and them living on another planet. Oh, Terra Nova, I think it was, or something like that.
Terra Nova, right.
Anyway,
right.
I won't go into it. Let's go on to our next topic, because I think this one's pretty exciting. Oh, not exciting. It's actually really shit.
Oh, yeah, it's not that exciting for us as consumers, because it looks like the thing that we were talking about last week about AAA games not being sustainable is actually coming to fruition with the price. Like, it's all intertwining now that $70 looks like will be the new standard for games. Now, that's about a 15% increase in purchase of games. And I did the math, and it works out to be 80 to 90 Australian dollars here when you're buying a physical copy. I don't know what it will
70 American.
70 American, okay. Yeah. It's not pesos, unfortunately. And digital copies, I don't know. I reckon they'll still be more expensive. Probably $100 like they are now on the PlayStation Store to buy a new game.
That makes no sense that a digital copy is more expensive than a physical one.
Yeah, I know, it's really bizarre, but here in Australia, for some reason, the games are quite expensive on the PlayStation Store, unless they're having some epic sales going on, so...
New Zealand's still expensive too. I think it's like $100.
Oh, it is. Yeah, like my mate was telling me from New Zealand, he was like, yeah, games are real expensive. When he came to Australia, he was like, oh, you guys are blessed. Your games are so cheap.
And it's $1 to $1 anyway.
Oh, pretty much.
Oh, almost.
Yeah.
I guess, look, there's a bit of a... Is this going to affect Australia? Are the prices going to go up in Australia because of America? Because I don't even think they're selling at the moment at the exchange rate that it would be at. Because in the US, it's $59 for a game. Is that right? Or $69?
Yeah, $59.99.
$59. So here it's $60, right? Or $69?
Oh, it's like a brand new game's like between $68 to like $79, I think.
Oh, already? On console?
Yeah, on console. Australian dollars, yeah.
Well, so I pre-ordered Cyberpunk for $68.
Yeah. And I got Ghost of Tsushima at that price as well.
Oh, yes. When are we doing the stream?
Oh, yeah, guys. So we're going to do a gaming stream of that game in about a couple of weeks' time. So 17th of July, it will be on my YouTube channel, which is The Game with Casper, at 6 p.m. So the same time as this channel, but on a Friday evening. So we don't,
cross.
Yeah, cross over.
So I guess what I'm trying to get at. So if it's 59 in the US, then it's 69 here. So it's $20 difference. So now it's going to go up by another $10. Yeah. So we're going to see games between 70 and 80. Is that what you're saying? 70 to 80 to 90?
Well, 80 to 90 Australian. That's what
Seriously?
We're gonna see. Yeah. because going from almost 70, we're gonna bump up to 80. So 80 will be the goddamn little flies flying around. So 80 will be the minimum that we have to pay for physical copies.
$80.
How do you guys feel about it? Is that gonna hit your wallet
Yeah.
too hard? Do you not care because you actually wait some time for games to get cheaper? Because as we know, the games depreciate in price very quickly. Are you the kind of person that doesn't buy your games on day one?
Yeah, let us know in the comments. So I buy specific games on game one, right? Like, you know, Joe Blog says 70 USD
Yes.
is 100 AUD.
That's absolutely right. But for some reason, like $60 games here are like almost $70.
That's what I was getting confused about, because it's
Yeah,
not usually
so
it's
weird.
not the exact exchange rate.
Yeah, it's not the exact. So
Right.
instead of doing the exchange rate, I just did like a percentage difference from theirs to ours as well. That's why I'm saying they're going to be around $80.
Yeah.
So 70 American dollars. That's just my prediction.
Because remember that when a product gets priced for another country, they actually price it not just with exchange rate, they price it as what the economy or the average person in this country can actually afford. That's why if you go to Russia, Ukraine, or any of those sort of Slavic countries, you can actually get games really cheap. Like, really, really cheap. Not so much anymore with the whole digital thing, but there are stores like GOG which price locally.
Right.
It's basically what you can handle. Like if the average person over there earns, you know, X amount of dollars, or rather whatever their currency is, and that item, that exchange rate of their currency to the US where they want to buy the game from, or where the game's coming from, costs, you know, like, let's say, you know, 70 USD, that translates to like, could translate to hundreds of their currency, which is unaffordable for that person, because
nobody
to them,
will be buying games because they don't make that much money in the country.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta base it on like the price of milk and eggs, honestly.
Wow.
Because, you know, if it costs, you know, 10 milks and 10 eggs, or if it costs 100 milks and 100 eggs, because the price of the stuff doesn't really matter, but those are base items that when they cost that much in a country, that's what the person can afford. And they're not going to go without food for like a month to play a game.
Yeah. Well, you'd hope so.
Well,
yeah. Wow. You can pre-order 2K21 from EB Games for 150. That must be a special edition. I don't know. That can't be like the basic.
All right, let's do
that
it.
would,
EB Games.
That would break the bank so hard.
EB Games. Okay, first of all, EB Games is
there
the
it
worst
is. Go
place.
pre-order now.
I'll click on it. EB Games is the worst place to order anything from or buy games. It's just insanely expensive.
So expensive.
Okay.
Yeah.
NBA.
Holy, oh my god!
What
$150.
What the hell?
That's gotta be a special.
No, that's the Mamba Forever Edition.
Forever Edition. Okay.
So let's talk about the Mamba Forever Edition, because that is even more insane. So here we have the breakdown.
Oh wow, such a zoom in.
Let's zoom in as much as we can.
Yeah. See the
So
micropixels.
this is the Mamba version right here. The one for PlayStation 4. It's $9,999 USD. So 100 USD, which I guess 150 then, yeah?
Yeah.
And so it costs exactly the same amount for the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. So it's going to be the same price for PS4 and Xbox.
As they usually are. They tend to be the same price.
For both consoles?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, all right.
Yeah.
But then we have the standard version for both platforms. However, the standard version of PlayStation 4 is only $59.99.
Wait, what?
Let me explain. And we have the $69.99 for the PS5 and Xbox Series X. The standard editions. The standard edition standard edition, right?
Okay.
Now,
that makes sense.
okay, now you know how the certain companies, actually Xbox has announced that you can the developers of a game can cross-platform the game, or basically give the people who've already bought it on PlayStation 4 or Xbox Series, whatever it is now. I can't even... What is it? Series S? X?
X is the big one. The big, powerful one.
And what's the one that was beforehand?
Xbox One.
Xbox One.
Just
horrible.
Stupid names.
Sony. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Thank you.
Keep it simple.
Keep it simple. So they can cross-play this. Like, it's easy enough for them to like sell it on here, and you can get the latest version. But what 2K21 and EA Games has done is they've actually made that the only version that can be cross-platform is the Mamba version.
Oh.
So to get the cross one, the
Right.
minimum spend right now is 100 USD, which is 150 Australian dollars.
Too much.
That's insane. That's
It's
absolutely
like buying
insane.
2 games. You might
Yeah,
as well just
yeah.
wait and just buy the standard copy for the next gen. I would
Exactly.
say. Yeah.
Hey Ethnic and
Hey,
hey
guys.
Talha Kagler. Is that the last
Yeah.
name? So first of all, it's coming out on Stadia and PC, which is pretty
Yeah.
cool. And NSF, SNS, and Nintendo Switch.
Oh, not New South Wales.
Not
The
New
New
South
South
Wales.
Wales edition.
I was
Yeah.
like, is there a New South Wales edition? Maybe that's even priced even higher.
Yeah.
So I think it's insane because EA Games is just such a. I mean, first of all, the Mamba edition's got all these other extras, right?
Yeah.
But that's the only version that's cross-platform.
Yeah, too expensive.
Yeah.
Don't do it, guys.
There was one other thing I wanted to mention about EA's thing, and that is the Madden one that we talked about last week.
Oh, yes.
If you want to get that game for cross-platform, they've said you can do it, but you have to get that version, the next version, within a specific time frame after you buy the PlayStation 4 version.
Right. So they're putting pressure on the consumers to be like,
Yeah.
you're going to miss out on
Yeah,
it if you don't buy it.
yeah. Let us know below if...
Yeah, is COVID okay? Don't get the big edition, bro. Don't do it.
Let us know below if you guys are going to get 2K21 for $150, because that's the only one you can buy right now from
Yeah.
EB
EB
Games.
Yeah.
Let's see Cyberpunk, because somebody mentioned Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
What's the version?
Cyberpunk Day 1 edition.
Limited edition. What? They've got a samurai logo jumper.
Oh, sick. Oh.
Hey, it's
that
only $48.
doesn't look that great, though, does it?
Yeah, but a jumper is, generally speaking, is not...
Not that cheap.
Yeah.
Maybe it's really budget. Like,
You
it's
reckon?
made out of, like, garbage bags or something.
Knowing EB Games is like...
Yeah.
It's like the last years of stuff, and they're just like...
They just colored in some trash bags. Yeah, there we go. It's merchandise.
Okay, well, let's see how much Cyberpunk is.
Speaking
109.
of sponsors and things, don't you?
Oh, yes.
You're sponsored.
Well, sort of, I suppose.
Oh, okay.
We have a sponsor for today, for this stream, and it is IP Vanish. And basically, it's a VPN, so you can use it for any type of thing you want that you would use a VPN for. But specifically this one, and why I'm happy to share it with you, is because it works with Netflix.
Oh.
You can watch Netflix from the US, anime in Japan, and all sorts of other things. And basically, I think it's $7 a month or something. If you really want to watch stuff that's just not here in Australia and you don't want to pirate. And we don't condone piracy. So what I've done, I've put the link below in the description. If you want to check that out, follow that link. And you also support this channel, which is fantastic. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk.
Yeah, well done.
And yeah, let's move on to the next one. Look, Cyberpunk, $110, and you got to put a $30 deposit.
Moral of the story is don't buy games from EB Games.
Yeah.
Too expensive.
Let us know in the comments below if anybody has bought games from EB Games.
Oh, I actually did.
Oh,
Sorry.
what did you buy?
I bought that game, what's it called? Because it came out like a week earlier than anywhere else. It's Persona 5. Yeah, the Royal Edition. It came out at EB Games a week before the actual official release date worldwide.
EB Games had it a week.
Yeah.
Was that some sort of special EB Games deal?
That was like it's the pandemic, here's a game, guys, basically edition.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. They got the approval somehow to release it a week early, which was cool.
All right, shall we move on?
Yep.
Do you want to talk about the price? We've talked about the pricing of the games, right?
Well, I guess, okay, here's a little tidbit or a bit of information that has been leaked. I don't know, maybe leaked out. It's a rumor. So the guy who actually guessed when the PS5 reveal was going to happen, which was the 11th of June, is also the same guy who is saying that on the 13th of July, we will get pricing for the PS5 and the PS5 Digital Edition. If it's not happening on the 13th of July, he says, it will happen even earlier.
Wow.
So this is a means or a way to undermine Xbox's event that they're having mid to late July with their first party games. It'd be interesting for them to do that. I mean, we're in uncharted territory right now. Usually we'd get prices of games, consoles in June, which is the E3 convention. Man, those little flies are so pesky.
Midgies, they're called. They're
Midgies,
very bad this time of year.
So it's actually pretty odd that we don't have prices for consoles at this stage now. This is a very weird time.
When the PlayStation 4 was announced, did they announce the prices straight away?
No, they did it during E3, which was June.
Right. Oh, June.
Already,
okay, and it's
gone,
July
yeah.
now. I think they're holding back because they know people. The problem right now is people aren't really out there shopping, right? And the whole process of
Online shopping, though.
yes, but there's people that, like, let's say your suppliers and everything you need to actually ship everything is a little bit slower right now.
Yep.
And so you need to stretch out your marketing campaign to capture as much of the people as possible, and then give enough time to your suppliers to get all those boxes of those PlayStations and Xbox into stores.
Yeah. Which then begs the question. Because we're in this current weird situation, does that mean that the suppliers are going to be low on stock come time to buy these consoles?
I am actually worried that places like everybody except US might get shafted with stocks.
Ooh. So we might have to be waiting, or they'll just be very low stocks?
I think you're going to have to, if you want to get a day one, you're going to have to pre-order.
Pre-order it. There you have it, guys. Pre-order it. I know I will be. I've got my wallet at the ready. I'm going to be buying it. The second they release the price, I'll be throwing money at the screen.
Throw your card at it.
Yeah. I'm buying it. Give it.
So I think Australia might have enough stock, generally speaking. And look, there's a lot of EB Games and places that are going to sell it for like a stupid, ridiculous price. And Amazon's going to have it, and they've got a large stock of it. So I think, overall, we'll have enough stock. But if you want to get a day one, you'll have to pre-order.
Yeah. And
you might have to wait like a couple of days or a week.
Or months.
Or months.
Yeah, let's hope that's not the case.
So, is that all you wanted to say about that one?
Yeah, pretty much it. Oh, and the fact that if the Xbox Series S is to be unveiled, which they're saying about August, that will supposedly it's going to be so cheap in comparison to, because the PS5, they can't really drop the price that much. They have consoles that are identical, except one doesn't have a drive. Which
and drives don't cost.
Yeah, drive is like $20, to have a 4K Blu-ray drive in their console. So the fact that Xbox Series S, and that's the actual next article that we just brought up there, is doing this, it could be super cheap. And it could be a great entry-level console for casual gamers who people just like the mainstream games like, a FIFA or like a COD or like a Fortnite 2, whatever. And to play it in 1080p, this could be the box for you, because they're saying it could be anything from $199 to $299 US. So
for the new Xbox downgraded version.
Yeah.
So you tell me if this sounds plausible and if it sounds something that you'd think people would do. And you guys in chat, please let us know. So I actually think Xbox's approach to their live game Pass is fantastic.
Yeah.
I think it's $5-10 and you get all these games and you get to play them.
Yeah.
They're both first party and they're all both all the other games that you get to play, like the cross-gen ones. Obviously no exclusives. What if the new Series S, the lower version, comes out and you pay $25 a month, you get your Game Pass, and you get the console for 2 years? You now have a subscription-based hardware and games. You don't have to fork out $200, $400. You go to the store, sign a piece of paper, get a contract like you would for a phone. You're going to hand over your IDs. But for the next 2 years, you're paying $25 a month and you get to play every single new Xbox game, new cross-gen game, everything.
I think that's a very cool idea. You're covering even more gamers out there. It's a great idea because it doesn't cost that much. You say, okay, $20-25 US. You can have a console. You can have access to all these games already. Parents and grandmas and brothers and sisters and dogs and cats are going to be like, they'll be easy to dish out money and to take that thing on board. I think the risk here is for the business. If they're going to be putting out their consoles, they're already making a giant loss day one.
Right, but I think they're going to make their money back long term on a subscription-based console.
Yes. So if they're willing to take the risk that in 2 years' time they will see the fruits of their labor, if they're willing to do that, then that's cool.
Well, I think it won't be 2 years. It'll be like 1 year, and then the following year is just pure profit.
Because like, let's say you're saying $25, right?
Well, let's say it's $39.99 in Australian.
Okay, right.
And you don't have to fork out $300, which will be the cost of this Series S.
So you got to take into account, okay, the console's already at a loss, right? The console production will be like $500 or
39 times 12 times
$480 in a year. So they're already making a loss of the console. They're giving you the console now for a small amount of money. So in that 1 year, they won't make their money back because they're also paying the developers for the games that are on their platform,
so,
right? Yeah.
But if they charged, so Game Pass is, let's say it's $10 a month.
Yeah.
And I'm saying it's 39 Australian dollars, right?
So now it's $50 a month.
No.
Okay.
Out of that 39, $10 is the Game Pass.
Yeah.
That's a continuous ongoing thing. I'm just looking at the console, right?
Yeah.
Because a phone... Yeah, okay, so Joe Blog says, a new phone needs good credit. If you don't have a good credit, people won't be able to get it. Yes, sure, but people still... Right now, in this climate, people don't seem to tend to just drop cash that often.
Right.
It's more likely that they'll go, okay, so it's only $20 or $39 a month. Yeah, I can handle that. They can potentially handle that. So if $10 is just the Game Pass, and then it leaves $29, $30 a month for 12 months is more than the cost of the console. That's like if they're selling it for like $300.
Not Australian. I don't think it'll be 300 Australian though. It'll be like at least 400.
What, the cheap version of it?
Yes.
You think it's going to be more than $400?
Yes.
I don't think so. I think
in Australia, because the $400 console's like 750 here in Australia when it released.
Yeah, so the $199 is going to be about 350.
Yeah. 350 for it, but. Okay, maybe it'll be super cheap, but wow, $200? Damn,
that's my sort of thoughts on this. I think if they sell it for $200, because this is really cut down.
Oh, it's really cut down.
It's really large gen.
20 CUDA cores?
Yeah.
Yeah, compute units, sorry, 20 compute units. But it's got the same CPU as the Series X, which is interesting.
But the games are going to play at 720p and 1080p.
Oh, wow. That's so low.
That is like this gen, but you get to play the next gen games.
And it's not going to hold games back. We know that. It's just going to play on a really low resolution. So if you want a top tier Series X, you're going to get gorgeous games with high FPS. Speaking of which, the first high FPS game has already been announced.
Like refresh rate?
Yeah, 120 FPS on the new Dirt 5 game.
Wow.
Yeah, so... We know we're already going to get 120 FPS on consoles.
What about the resolution?
I reckon it'll be at least 1440p.
Okay, that is impressive.
Yeah,
that is absolutely impressive. So, 1440p
and
is, I think, a sweet
FPS.
spot.
Yeah, that's really nice. Interesting comment from Joe Blogs about giving away free consoles and people will hack it and play stuff online. Do you think they would do that? People will just...
Okay. When you hack something to play hacked games or pirated games, right? It's usually happens when the console itself is cheap, but the games are really expensive. Or if it's a game or a console that's is not supported anymore. It's been out for a long time. Nobody's making games for it. Let's put some ROMs on it, right? But if you get a game console for free, and you have a Game Pass that's $10 a month and you get to play all the newest games, the effort to hack it is more than it would be just to pay the $10.
Oh, okay, so it's the same thing as when Netflix and Stan are coming around. It's like, well, I might have as well paid the subscription of $10-15 as opposed to start risking pirating, which... is, it's not worth it and I might get caught, and it's just so much easier to flick through all those channels, subscription channels, which are really cheap.
Exactly.
Anyway,
Exactly. Okay. There's an effort to cost ratio where you go, well, if I can just sort of pay $10-15 a month, I can't be bothered pirating because it's a little bit of an effort. But if it's too hard, if it's not even available in your country, then people will pirate. Game of Thrones was the highest pirated TV show of all time in Australia, because you had to pay $70 Australian per month to watch it on Foxtel.
Of all time, man, that's so expensive.
So why would you?
Yeah, 70
Why
bucks.
wouldn't you pirate
You could
it?
probably just buy the whole Game of Thrones box set for like that and a little bit more money.
Yes.
That's insane, man.
But now, when you have another TV
Yeah.
show, you know, yeah. I mean, at the end, and Joe, thanks for that comment.
Good
Teenagers
point. Good point.
have no money. That's absolutely right.
Yeah.
But their parents usually have subscription to Netflix because those parents also watch Netflix. Like, think of the generation, like maybe the last generation. I know my parents wouldn't have a Netflix subscription if it came out back then. They do now.
They
But-
wouldn't, you reckon?
I don't think they would.
I think my parents would, because going to the... Okay, we're going way back here, guys. Do you remember the thing called a video store? Like, where you go to hire videos? Maybe you
What's
don't.
that,
I don't
Daddy?
know.
Tell me more about what that was like.
Back in the good old 90s, you would go to a place called Blockbuster or a Video Easy,
Right,
where you
Video
pay a few dollars to actually rent out video cassette. What were they called? VHS? Yeah, VHS. And it was like $7 or $8 for like a week. You get to, you know, watch this movie, or like, brand new ones were for like 2 days. You could have 2 days, mamma mia.
Yeah.
And it was just so, I don't know. I guess the experience of it was cool. It was, you know, this, instead of flicking through Netflix like on your screen, you actually walk into a physical environment. You're surrounded by movies.
Yeah.
You're like a kid in a candy store, but it's quite expensive, right? To hire that TV show or a movie or whatever. You'd come out of the store and you pay $20-$30. Whereas like on Netflix, you have like hundreds, thousands of movies and TV shows for very few. Nice can holder there.
Go on.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's just, you know, you pay very little dollars and then you get access to everything, the whole world.
Yeah.
Where was I going with this?
Back then, your parents would have had Netflix.
Right. They would. Yes, thank you. They would have done that because it's so much cheaper and so many more options.
I went to the store all the time. Always on a Tuesday because I think it was $6 for 6 movies.
Oh, so cheap.
And Dad would choose 3, I would choose 3, and
Yeah.
then, you know, I'm gonna say that we did X something with that video and then had it for longer than, you know.
Well done. Well done.
Yes.
Hacking.
Let's move on. And so
Yeah.
I think my parents wouldn't have got Netflix back then because I think price wise that wasn't this thing ingrained in you that there's these subscriptions that you pay. Like, why would, like, think about it this way: when you used to buy Adobe, like Premiere or Photoshop, you paid once and you have it.
Yeah.
That's it. It's yours. You own that piece of software. Now it's subscription based. It's $30, $40, $50. It can go up to thousands of dollars per month. And with Netflix, Stan, and all that, it's quite standard to have a subscription. There are now cars you can get on subscription.
Yeah. You know what? When I was younger, you're probably not going to believe this, but I had a Da Vinci moment where I was like, Father, the world will be subscription based. Like, life as we know it is
Yes.
going to be subscription based. And he's like, yeah, you're probably right. He was like, you're probably right. Everything that, you know, it's so much better. It's so much profitable for companies and businesses
Yes.
to actually get their trickles of money coming in all the time. I mean, because we've seen that in other formats in life.
Yeah.
And it's worked well. That being originally renting for property, you know, and then
Right.
they apply that model to everything now.
Yeah.
As opposed to buy a single product. It's like, okay, pay off the product.
Yeah.
For all of eternity.
So I work for the company I work for, we have a software we sell to companies and they pay a subscription for it.
Yeah.
And that actually lets us continuously develop features for this product and expand on it. And then that company doesn't have to fork out thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars for a custom-made software or a software package one-off. They just pay their monthly subscription and they're done. And they get a thing that's ever evolving. Same with Netflix. It's a live subscription. You get new shows added. Netflix can invest money into shows, bring The Witcher to the big screen, and places like Video Easy and all those places died because they were a model that just doesn't function well in a society full of subscriptions.
They didn't keep up with the times.
But they couldn't. What could you? Okay, what could you do if you're You're Video Easy. Your CEO, you have a meeting with CEO, and sorry, Joe. Why would they upgrade? Why would they update the app? It works. They're all about the content. It's the content. Yeah. Amazon needs to fix their app. Amazon's app is horrible.
Crashing on TV.
Holy
I
crap!
hate it. It sucks.
All right, okay,
Video Easy. CEO meeting.
CEO meeting.
Right.
CEO goes, we've got $1 million left. I need $1 million idea to save this business.
Oh, and you know what? I'd be the guy at the very end of the boardroom table, and I'd be like, "How about subscription base?" And then just like throw me out the window. But I think that's a brilliant idea. Why did nobody speak up and be like, "Guys, why don't we just like invest that $1 million into putting it all online, and we just charge them like $6 a month?" You know, we already have a customer base. Why don't we communicate that to them? Hey guys, we're going online. You can access all of our movies, all our VHS tapes, or whatever, all online.
They did that.
Did they?
Netflix did that. Netflix was a subscription-based DVD. You would send a DVD back and forth via mail. They had that subscription going.
Oh yeah,
and then they went digital. But I'm just saying, like, let's say already. Hi, Reflex.
Hi,
mate. But let's say you have the subscription model, like it's already happening, and you're on the downhill, right? You've got months left of company money.
Right.
What do you do? What can you do to save yourself? You've got all this assets that are just videos and DVDs, and what can you do to save your business? I just think there's nothing they could do.
I just shut all the shops, fire every single person.
Yeah.
I'm a monster. Don't ever make me CEO. Okay, I fire most people. Okay, and then I look at hiring a small team of programmers to be like, guys, we need to work on an app here. These are the rights to movies that we currently have. Let's put them on this platform. We're going to communicate with all of our...
So you would have just gone...
I would have just gone all balls to the walls, like, with this thing. Yeah, and just would have been like, app time.
So we would... If Casper was a CEO of Video Easy, you guys would be watching The Witcher on the Video Easy app.
There you go. There you have it. Maybe not... I don't know. I think I'd be one of those, like, poor... versions of Netflix. I'd be like maybe not poor, but I'd be like a Stan. You know, I'd be like the first Stan. Like,
you know, Stan has certainly found a niche of classic little movies and shows that Netflix and all the other big players don't even want to look at because it's like old. But my dad loves it.
I like Stan too. Maybe I'm an old man too, but
yeah, you are old compared to me.
Yeah, I'm ancient. I like Stan. It does have things that I like to watch that are not on Netflix. There's a lot of variety.
It does.
And, you know, not only old TV shows, but new ones that I want to see, you know, like Better Call Saul.
Now, friends, I want to bring you some value so you guys can be millionaires one day. I'm going to give you an idea. A search engine or application that you connect Netflix, Stan, and everything up to. So you just type in one search bar and find the movie you want.
Oh, I think that exists.
Does it?
Yeah.
Oh, well then, don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about it, guys. Sorry.
Does it exist?
Yeah, well, I tried it, but you know what didn't work about it? It didn't take into consideration where I am in the world. So there was no drop-down option to be like, because not every country has the same licensing rights to all these movies and TV shows. Like, I was like, I want this TV show, and it was like, it's on Amazon. I was like, great. Looked on it, it's like, it's not on there. Oh, only Amazon US. Right, of course.
That's what that VPN I put in the description you guys can have a look at will help with. As another little plug here. Let's talk RTX.
Oh yes, that's
3080 Ti.
I'm looking at that. I'm like, that's
because
not a video
Reflex
easy.
just mentioned it, and okay, so ROG ASUS. So ROG is a subsidiary of Republic of Gamers of ASUS.
ROG.
And ROG. Is it ROG or is it ROG?
It's probably ROG. ROG doesn't make sense.
Okay, apparently I heard somewhere somebody saying that ASUS refers to it as ROG.
Oh dear.
Seriously.
Yeah, and then we also refer to ASUS as Asus.
Do you ASUS or Asus?
I think I used to call it Asus before somebody was like, it's ASUS. I'm like, Laviosa.
I call it ASUS, and I've called it ASUS for years.
Yeah.
3080 Ti. This is apparently, and this is a rumor, a screenshot render of the 30. So you can see it.
Oh my god! Look how big it is compared to that man, guys. This is your next gen graphics card. It's gonna take up your whole house, just so you know.
It's also a very good heater.
Yeah, very good heater. It'll melt your face off.
God. So I don't believe this is a real render, especially due to the size of the person.
Yeah, no, something about it is fake. Maybe it's got to do with the size.
I think it's the color.
The color. Yeah. There's no rainbow cards out there.
So I think it's fake because of the other leaks that we've had, and due to what we discussed a couple of weeks back, that the 3080 Ti isn't going to be a 3080 Ti. It's going to be a 3090.
Yeah, that's what we talked about.
Yeah,
naming conventions different.
Because if not, and they still want to do a 3090, you're going to have a 3080 Ti, and in the 3090?
Maybe.
Well, you do have a 2060 Ti.
Yeah, or a 1660 Ti as well. Yeah,
which is not an RTX one, but...
So maybe they could do that. It's okay, but I don't know. I like the other way of having like a 3080 then a 3090. Don't have those little letters and things in the middle. It's confusing maybe some consumers.
What it says here is, what's interesting about this picture is the fact that it actually lists the RTX 3080 Ti branding and not RTX 3090, which is what the previous rumors said that it was going to be. And I don't know. One side of me says, can you just please stick to the standard branding of having 3080 Ti? The fact that you introduced a Ti to the whole thing is just like beyond me. But
yeah, we're old. We don't like change. It's scary.
But now you're going to change it again. It's going to confuse the market. It's already confusing enough with the 6060 Ti, and then you've got the 2060. And then, did you know that there's a 1660, right? That is a different version than the 6060, another 6060, and it has more performance, but it's still named exactly the same.
Oh, that's so confusing.
It's insane. It's just like when they did the Super thing. Super. Do you know why they did Super? They did Super because they screwed up.
Yes.
They released a product too early and didn't develop it further, because if you can squeeze another, 15-20% out of it?
Correct, yeah.
And they've just created this, flooded the market with stupidly expensive stuff, and they had to change the price because when the pricing came out of the 2000 series, it was too expensive. So they're like, oh crap, what do we do? Let's release more performance but still charge the same amount and lower the other ones.
Yeah, we'll just refresh it. Maybe it was like, oh crap, AMD's actually releasing something decent. Let's just refresh our product instead.
And actually, speaking of AMD, there is another rumor about AMD, and that is that they might release RDNA 2 soon, but also announce 3 within a couple of months.
Yeah, that would be insane, competing against yourself in a way. Unless they're covering the wide spectrum of products. To be like, hey, we got low tier, we got peasant tier, and then we got master race tier.
Peasant tier. Well, AMD is supplying the peasantry at the moment with the consoles.
They are, yes. Yeah, well done, AMD, feeding us peasants.
But I would like to add that destroying your own lineup and making your own products obsolete is not actually a bad thing. And I'm going to give you one company that does it really, really well. Apple.
Who dat? Apple? What about, they do
things well? Apple destroys their own lineup with their new products.
Oh, they kind of do.
They literally release a new product and it's like, makes other products obsolete.
Yeah, I don't like them for doing that.
Yeah, but the reason for that is they compete with themselves and try to better each other at the next step. And so they're not competing against NVIDIA, they're not competing against Intel, they're competing against themselves, and therefore every single product that they put in has to be better than what they had before. And if AMD takes the approach of saying, I'm not just going to be retroactive, or retroactive about what NVIDIA releases, and then we'll just try to make something better. I'm going to compete against myself. And if they release RDNA 2 to try and compete with a Titan lineup, RDNA 3 to compete with the Titan lineup, at the same time as they release the RDNA 2 that's going to compete with the rest of the 3000 series, they're just going to be, yes, they might be destroying their own lineup, but they're competing against themselves and bringing value to themselves, and therefore that will impact how they are seen against Nvidia.
Yeah, the question that I have for you and for all of you guys there, does that upset you as a consumer? Because you buy a product, you're like, I've got the latest and greatest graphics card, it's so beast. And like 6 months down, they're like, actually, this is not relevant anymore. This thing is way more powerful.
Well, that happened to you.
Well, but it's been 4 years. And actually, no, the 1080. I've had the 1080 for 4 years, and it kicks ass.
Yes.
Like to this day. So I'm content. I'm like, I made a great purchase. I feel like I did.
But the TI came out, what? 3 months, 4 months later?
Like 9 months later, I think.
Was it
I think, yeah, because May was 1080, and then maybe March, April was the next year.
So how many months is that?
1080 Ti. So I reckon it was like 9-10 months later.
I don't even know what I'm going to get there. Oh, here we go.
Oh,
May, March.
Whoa.
That's what I'm saying. It happened to you.
Wait, hold on. No, it was 7 plus 3. So that's like 10 months later almost. 9.5 months later.
No. 1080
Yeah, see,
May.
next year, 2017.
Oh, it's a 2017.
Yeah. So which is, you know what I thought was interesting? That with the 20 series, they did it right there and then day dot, right? They were like, boom, we have it all released in one go.
And you can buy whichever one you want to afford. And...
Yeah. Whereas with the 1080 Ti, they waited so long.
Yeah.
Is that...
I felt it was much quicker because I remember you bought yours.
Yeah.
And like a couple of months later, I bought mine as soon as the 1080 Ti came out.
But yeah, a couple of months.
But it was months, wasn't it?
Yeah.
God.
We're getting old. Time is slipping through our fingers.
It certainly is.
Time is slipping, man.
Since time is slipping, let's go on to some of our other topics. So
yeah, we got 4 minutes left.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Horizon Zero Dawn is coming to PC, and I'm really, really angry about it.
Oh, that was expected. They spoke about that ages ago.
God.
They're saying basically all the old PS4 exclusives will be released on PC eventually.
Really?
A lot of them.
Are you saying Last of Us is going to be on PC?
I don't know. Maybe. It could happen.
But because Horizon Zero Dawn is PlayStation exclusive, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I really love this game on the console. Really enjoyed it. The video quality is a bit. Yeah, I'd like more frames.
Oh, we had a comment as well from somebody who was like starting it. If you scroll up, he was like, "I'm 30% through" or something like that.
Was it?
Yeah. Who said it? There we go. Yeah, Ethnic is like, "I'm 30% through Horizon Zero Dawn now." What a game! Yeah. It is an awesome looking game. I played I got 5 to 10% through it, and
yeah.
I need to get back into it. I need to find some time to actually put that on my list because it's hella awesome.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I have to play it for a little while before my eyes adjust. I still find that jarring, so I'm really excited to see Horizon on PC, and I will connect my PlayStation controller to the PC to play it.
Oh, will you?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
But I'm trying to see if I can like transfer the save game across, but I don't think that's going to happen.
This is what I'm excited for the PS5. I want to finally see games in 60. If you got games for me in 60, my eyes are going to be like, I love you.
Yeah,
but
60 frames.
Because like 30, there's still something off about 30. It's like you watch it and it's like, this is not right, man. Like it has this jaggedy thing about it.
The movement isn't quite right.
Yeah, I understand that it's not right. And then when I play a 60 game, I'm like, the movement's so weird, so smooth. Like, is it like sped up? That's what it feels like when you play 30 for a long time, and then you go to 60. You're like, is this game broken? Oh no, that's what it's meant to be like.
It's nice and smooth, and I suppose if there's going to be things like Dirt at 120, that's going to be really exciting.
So cool.
And console players are going to finally realize what it's all about.
Yeah, they'll be like, is this game sped up? Like, that's what they're going to think. Yeah.
The action is going to be amazing. Next topic up is Nintendo World Japan.
Oh, wow. I don't know about this.
This is what it's starting to look like, and it is literally a level from Mario.
That's kind of cool.
That's just... It sucks that it's during COVID, because... they're building it during COVID, and hopefully it'll open up, and then they'll be able to...
Oh, that's okay. They're like preempting that people will go wild when they're released.
Yeah. So I went to Disney World in Japan. Sorry, what's the water version of Disney? Disney Water or something? Or water...
I don't know. I don't know. They have a water thing?
Yeah, it's like... It's Disney... Anyway, look, I went to one of their theme parks there when I was in Japan.
Yeah.
and the lines. Let me tell you about the lines.
Talk
The
to me.
line for, I think it was the 20 Leagues Under the Sea ride,
Yeah.
took an hour and a half. The line took an hour and a half, and the ride was about less than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Then there was the Indiana Jones one, which I got a fast pass ticket for it, and the fast line was 2 hour wait.
Oh my god.
But the ride was pretty good.
Oh wow. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
It was quite pretty because it was apparently made in conjunction with Spielberg and all them stuff, and had really cool effects, but still was less than 10 minutes long. And yeah, we were gonna do another ride, and the wait time was 3 hours. So you have to stand in line for 3 hours
Oh
to
my
get a ride of
God.
like less than 10 minutes.
That's
This
insane.
place is just gonna be packed.
This is gonna be crowd surfing. These people are gonna be insane. Okay, what's the best ride you've ever been on?
Superman in the Gold Coast.
Oh, that's pretty good. I've been to that one. That's pretty good. It's the
My
one that
favorite.
goes up and then it goes back down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's like there's a before COVID, during COVID, and after COVID. Just like before the war or after the war.
Yeah.
Anno Domino. What's the other one?
I don't know.
What is
what's
the other one? Anyway.
Yeah.
Before Christ and after Christ. AD.
Yeah.
Is it Anno Domino?
Maybe.
Maybe it is after
Yeah.
Christ or before the whatever you
Yeah.
believe in.
My
Let's-
favorite ride. Oh, guys,
Yeah, what's your
have you
favorite
been
ride?
to? If you go to Warner Brothers? No. The one in Singapore. It is
The Warner Brothers.
Universal Studios. Universal Studios, yeah, and then going on the Transformers ride.
Is that good?
That was so good, man.
What was it like?
I waited maybe 45 minutes to an hour.
That's not bad.
And it's this like 4D experience where you're like on this little cart and you're going like through fast and you've got 3D glasses and it's like you're fighting Transformers, and when they're shooting like rockets at you, you feel the heat. They like shoot like heaters at you.
Are
and
you
stuff.
serious?
Yeah, it's so cool. And then you jump onto this robot and you like rip its wires out, and then the petrol starts squirting out, so they have like water is hitting you.
Oh wow.
It's so immersive. I was like, this is insane. Like, it was the best ride I've ever been on. It's
Man,
so cool.
I'd have to
man.
check it out.
Yeah.
So
So
is it
cool.
Universal Studios? No, well,
Yeah.
no, Joe. Yes,
Well,
it's still 3D.
It's 3D, but then
The
you know,
fourth
you
is
feel
the-
things.
Yeah.
Ah.
So like,
Yeah.
they had I think there was one in the Gold Coast where you sat
Mm.
in chairs and they'd spray water at you, and like wind.
Yeah.
And I think there was a smell one where they would like put like a flowers smell. I think when you're like out in a,
Oh, that's cool.
it was like an animated thing, and they
Yeah.
did that. But it was pretty cool, I reckon. Let's move on to the next one.
What's left?
There's a few left.
Oh, Crucible. That came out a few weeks ago, a month ago, yeah.
So Crucible came out. Have you played it?
Crucible. No, I saw videos of people playing it and they were
Yeah.
like, we don't know what this game is. Like, what category does it fall into? Because it's so many things in one.
It just seems like Amazon's trying to do what Tencent is doing, buying up all these games and
Yeah.
like, you know, trying to fit in and make some sort of game that goes and does competitions, people pay and stuff like that, bring this community together where you can make money. But I don't think this is actually going to work out. Anyway, Crucible was out of closed beta and now it's back into closed beta because basically
Good riddance. We didn't need it.
it's bad.
It's bad, yeah.
The game itself is got a lot of issues, a lot of bugs, and they had to take a step back, the Amazon-owned studio, and had to just close it and then basically go back
Yeah,
and redo.
Go back to hiding.
Yeah.
Yeah, people didn't play it. That's probably a good point as well.
Well-
Or people tried it and they were like, yeah, this is not for me.
Yeah. I think a lot of people who did go further than that complained
Yeah.
about all the bugs and then stopped playing.
Yeah, they actually were like, oh, this thing's wrong with it, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shall we talk about Byron?
All right,
Yeah.
just a brief
one.
Brief one. It is an absolute tragedy. The loss of a big streamer, big gamer, and I'm sure anybody that would have followed him, that would have watched, World of Warcraft, whatever it may be. It's absolutely tragic. This happens in our lives in this day and age. Still quite a frequent issue that we
Yeah.
have all around
Yeah.
the world.
Yeah.
We, nobody ever has the capability or the ability to actually foresee what's in somebody's mind and how they're coping in this day and age. And perhaps, I don't know if he had any avenues to be open about these things, or he was holding it inside, or it was a spontaneous moment of just hitting rock bottom, or just feeling the way that he did. So it's absolutely tragic.
And if anybody needs any help, the hotline, the lifeline for Australia is 131114. Make sure you use it if you need to.
Yeah, and please understand that, and I've been told this before, and I've heard other people say it. That these the what you're feeling is momentary, and that it will pass, just like the clouds in the sky. And if it doesn't, it eventually will. It's not a state of permanence. And I think when people are in that situation, they genuinely believe that it's going to be like that forever and ever. So yeah, just join different communities. I would say it was probably like the greatest cure.
There's a community for everyone.
Yeah, there's a community for everyone with these things. So
Joe says there's also a text line that is there to help if you need to, if you don't want to, don't feel like talking.
Yeah, good point. Thank you for sharing that, Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's all the news we have for you guys today. Some somber news at the end there, and actually I was going to ask you about it because he was a WoW streamer, one of the more famous ones. I think he was really big in the like the competition, like what was the battle stuff he used to do?
Right.
There was a battle thing in WoW where you used to battle
like
out.
a death match type thing?
Yeah, it's
right.
something like that.
Like a versus?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you ever play WoW when you were younger?
No, I had a lot of friends that did, and they would tell me about it, and I might have seen gameplay of it, but I have never played it myself.
Okay. I went through a phase when the second expansion came out. I played it. It was the first ever game that I paid a subscription for, and it hurt. Yeah. It hurt a lot.
You and a lot of people as well.
Yeah,
they were.
Yeah, like it was expensive, and it actually was the reason why people kept playing it, because you felt like because you were paying it, you had to play it.
Yeah.
So there's like this like value that I'm missing out on because I'm paying and not getting what I want. But I really enjoyed WoW for what it was. I think I've certainly grown out of it. I try to get back into it, but it's just not at the state of mind for it anymore. It's just
there's
quite tedious.
So many cool things we get to experience now.
Yeah,
And speaking of cool things, we got Joel Duprez who just said, "What do we think about the NBA 2K21 trailers?"
Let's put that on. I think we can do that.
Here's what I think. We can see the graphics look beautiful, and there is a guy in the trailer that is sweating.
Oh, that trailer.
Yeah, right? That's the trailer. Unless that's other trailers. But I think the one where he's sweating, I think the reason is because he knows that the game's going to be expensive. So he's really concerned about how the public will react. So it's all coming together now. It's all coming together.
Oh, yes. It's this this trailer.
The game looks gorgeous.
And the thing is, and I think we talked about this before, when you're playing this game, you're not going to get to see those sweat beads go down their, face.
What if you have like 100-inch TV?
Yeah, but you still play from the top down.
Oh, maybe.
But I suppose, okay, hey, you're dribbling and you do a jump shot. Yeah. Was it dribbling?
Oh, yeah, it is dribbling.
It is dribbling.
It is dribbling. It just sounds funny. Yeah.
I'm dribbling and I shoot and I score. Then you get to have a cinematic where you zoom in and you see him do that.
You see his armpit sweats like, whoa, dunking in.
Is that going to make or break the game? I don't think so.
Yeah, no, probably not.
But every year, this game comes out every year. What can you innovate on apart from changing who's on the teams? Apart from graphics, obviously.
Only graphics? And maybe if rules change in the game? I don't know much about sports, guys. I don't know. The ball gets bigger? I don't know.
They have to roll the ball now.
Yeah. There's baseball bats involved. Like, Yeah.
I don't know what you can... I can see that the graphics is probably the most important thing, and maybe the way the players behave and move. I think the animation is probably the biggest thing, and making an animation that looks... not so there's a difference between fluid and natural, in my opinion. You've got natural movement, which isn't fluid. Natural movement looks smooth, yes, but it's not choreographed. Your hand doesn't smoothly move the same exact way every time.
Yes.
There is slight differences in the motion of your hand. So to me, natural movement is quite important in a game like this, I think.
Do you think they'll be eventually making their way to that? That would be so cool. It's like your player behaves differently based on maybe how he's, how much energy he has left in the game, how tired and exhausted he is. Or maybe they'll like add elements to it. It's like, oh, my character was drinking the night before and now he's like real hungover. That's why he's playing so crap in the game.
That'd be pretty cool. And then you can actually do that in game, like get them drunk to party. Yeah.
Oh, that was sick.
But I think if you're seeing that kind of fluid movement and it's not repeatable, and every time you dribble, it's always the same movement. Yeah, it looks natural, but it's exact same.
Oh, it's a replica every time.
Yeah, it's a replica. Yeah. So I think that would be a good improvement.
That would be a sick improvement. That would be next level AI improvement. Yeah. But I reckon NBA 2K41 or something like that.
Yeah. Let's. Okay, I'm gonna laugh. Oh yes, the footsteps. Yeah, so footstep movement is actually randomized. I think The Witcher did it a little while back, where you don't always take the same steps. It sort of alternates depending on the environment. But when you've got a flat court, it's not gonna matter. But if there was a rock, your foot would sort of be differently movable. I used to do.
What if you like step on somebody's feet? That would be cool.
Yeah, I wonder if.
And then the player's like, "Ow!" like the other.
Yeah, and it starts getting. Is that that's hockey, isn't it?
Yeah, that's hockey. Yeah.
All right, folks. I think that's it. That's all our topics for today.
Yep. That's all the juice. That's all the goods.
Thank you very much for joining us on another State of the Beans talk.
Yeah.
And thank you very much for joining us. Join us next week. Join us for a stream of Tsushima. Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, Shadow of Sushi. No, Ghost of Tsushima, guys. Gonna be on my channel, which is The Game with Casper. 6 p.m. 17th July. We'll send out some reminders and things. We'd love to have you there just to talk, to both experience the very last exclusive game for the PlayStation 4 for this current gen. So we are pretty excited to see what it has to offer. How they will close off the generation.
Yeah, this is quite big, and this is huge for Sony, I suppose. So they want to make sure it's perfect. And if you like this show, then make sure to subscribe to this channel and make sure you get a notification. Well, that will help you get a notification next time we go live, but we do try and tweet it out and Facebook it and stuff. But thanks for watching. Catch you another one.
Thank you.
Bye.